Now, Access Tech Live headlines.
Well, as we said off the top, this was Meta's week on the stage, the big stage in California, as CEO Mark Zuckerberg officially announced the Meta Quest 3, its third virtual reality headset, which features a higher resolution display, upgraded processor, and gives people access to mixed reality, which allows you to overlay digital items into the real world. Here is Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg.
So when you put on Quest 3, you see the physical room around you. Only now it is a canvas that you can bring your digital objects into the world. You know, Quest 3, it understands your space so you can play with the world around you.
The new headset also featured upgraded cameras, a lighter design, and new depth sensor. It's available to pre-order right now, Stephen, and the Quest 3 starts shipping October 10th for only $699 Canadian dollars. Now, second up on Zuckerberg's list was AI. The CEO announced new personalized AI bots for different uses. Now, each personality is powered by a celebrity's image. So you got the likeness of Mr. Beast, Paris Hilton, Roy Choi, Kendall Jenner, Tom Brady, amongst many, taking on those personas. And each bot has a specialty, like dance, sports, cooking, and will all be available through Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, and a variety of other chat methods.
So let's say you're planning dinner. You got Max, the sous chef, who can help you come up with a recipe. Or let's say, you know, you're writing something like a keynote and you're not really sure where to get started. You can ask Lily, or personal editor AI. Or maybe you're traveling and you're trying to plan a road trip with your kids. You've got Lorena, who's going to be able to help you find the best barbecue.
Now, finally, Ray-Ban Story smart glasses are getting a pretty interesting upgrade. The new version features better cameras, speakers, and Meta's AI is built right into the glasses. Now, a future update is coming down the road where the Ray-Ban Story smart glasses are also going to be able to identify things using the cameras. It's going to allow it to do things like ask, help me fix this faucet, or what am I looking at?
You're going to get this state-of-the-art AI that you can interact with hands-free wherever you go. So, you know, let's say you're grilling with your family and you want to know how long you need to be cooking that chicken for. You know, or you're playing pickleball and hits the line and you want to know if that's a fault. She disagrees, but you know the truth. Or let's say you just want to settle a debate, you know, some trivia as you're going out through the world. Just ask your Ray-Ban Meta glasses and they'll respond and get you the answer.
Now, Ray-Ban's updated stories are available to pre-order now as well, and they start at $369 Canadian dollars with delivery on October the 20th. Be My AI, the automated version of Be My Eyes, is officially out of private beta and available for everyone who wants to give it a try to do so. More on that a little bit later with Be My Eyes chairman and CEO Mike Buckley. But Buckley did say that development will always continue to evolve at a rapid pace.
I want the community to know that, you know, we are committed to incredibly rapid development and iteration here.
Tuesday marked the release of Apple's latest Mac operating system a week after iOS 17, called Sonoma. Now, the free update includes a wide range of new accessibility features for vision, cognitive, and speech support. Among the list of capabilities are phonetic suggestions. Those will appear when you dictate or edit text via voice control. Animated images like GIFs that can be paused in Safari or Messages. Live speech, where users can type messages to be spoken aloud during FaceTime and phone calls. And the ability to customize text size on Mac apps. And finally, the ability to connect made-for-iPhone hearing devices to your Mac. Tuesday also saw Microsoft rolling out their new integrated Copilot features in Windows. The new features bring Microsoft's ChatGPT-powered Copilot right to your taskbar and menus, available whenever you need it throughout the operating system. Here's Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella.
Today, we're announcing Copilot, our vision for everyday AI companion for you. We are building Copilot into all of our most used products and experiences and allowing you to summon its power as a standalone app as well. From Bing and Edge to Microsoft 365 and the newest version of Windows.
This week, we recognize WordPress Accessibility Day with a number of events held across the country yesterday and today. The goal of the day is to encourage and empower developers to think about embedding accessibility for all of their users. Now, WordPress is a popular blog creation company, grew from a simple idea into one of the world's biggest and most dominant content management systems. Currently, it powers over 43% of the world's websites. Maxwell Ivey is known to many as the blind blogger as an accessibility advisor. He spoke at last year's celebration and explains why WordPress is so important to the disability community as a whole.
The reasons for my appreciation of them is frankly their sincere effort, because even from day one, 11 or 12 years ago, they have always been dedicated to the prospect of inclusion and accessibility for all users, not just the visually impaired, not just the hearing impaired, but they were even ahead of the curve when it comes to things like epilepsy and autism and neurodevelopmental diseases, and those people being able to not only access websites created in WordPress, but to be able to create their own websites in WordPress.
And finally, Stephen, AirPods Pro 2, and of course the latest software update in iOS 17, added adaptive noise reduction to the new AirPods, which I believe you had a chance to experience. Is that true?
Oh, yes. It's a fantastic feature. And this is one of these things that you often might think is an accessibility feature for deaf and hard of hearing people, but actually, do you know what? It's for everybody. And I was out, I had the occasion of getting a train recently, and the assistant who was taking me to the train was on my left side. I normally ask them to walk on the right. I'm very fussy. But on this occasion, they were walking on the left, and I was holding their arm, and I had an AirPod in my ear. And I wondered, am I going to have to take this AirPod out in order to hear the person? But actually, no, because of this conversational boost feature, as I'm sort of essentially looking at the person or turning my head towards the person, the mic is picking them up clearly. The microphones inside these devices are incredible. And even on a crowded train, that noise of being on a train or even on a plane is dulled down considerably. This can be great for people with autism. You often find this. The children, especially with autism, often wear these big, heavy headsets that they have to wear. But you can actually use AirPods or even the AirPods Max to accommodate children with autism and even older people with autism as well. So, really great set of features which are built with the disability community in mind, but of course, benefit all of us. So yes, I love it.
Yeah, I've heard stories of people using it for hunting where it actually dulls the sound of gunshots, or in just environments where it really does help balance the overall environment around you in a way that helps you hear things a little bit clearer, which is pretty cool. But, lots of cool updates and lots of things that we always find in these operating systems as we get time with it. It's not always announced on a big stage, like Apple does or Microsoft does, right, Stephen?
No, that's right. And that's why this show exists, right? Because we get the chance to talk about it. We're perhaps the only show on the planet that's talking about these particular features. So if you're disabled and you're into tech, this is the show for you. Now, of course, one of the great things about being here is we are live. So we can get your reaction to the stories we are talking about. And of course, there was plenty in there to talk about in the headlines. But one thing we also like to do is throw a question out to you. Now, Mark, I'm going to do it differently this time. I'm going to ask you the question, and I want you to answer it for a change. So if you were to end up in the metaverse and you could only take one thing with you, if you were stuck in there and you were going into the metaverse and you could only take one thing with you, what would it be?
That's, you think that I would think about the answer to this and have it ready at a moment's notice, but I don't. It's either going to be a really comfortable pillow because you got to sleep somewhere, or maybe my phone. But so that, I don't know if there's maybe a loophole here, but if I bring my phone, then maybe I can order things like Uber Eats after the fact. Does that count?
Yeah, I think that's a cop-out. But look, I want to say as well, I think we should ban phone from the answers, okay? Because fine. Everyone's going to say their iPhone or their Android phone, right? But I want you to think outside the box on this one. So get in touch with us. Mark, how do people do that?
Well, of course, you can connect with us on social media. It is at Access Tech Live on all social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, et cetera, et cetera. You can also email us. It's feedback@accesstechlive.com as well, and you can get involved. Again, the question is, if you could only bring one item with you into the metaverse, what would that item be and why? And as Stephen said, no phones. Coming up, we're going to break down the headlines with the co-host of the Double Tap Daily podcast, Sean Priest. He is with us next.
We want to hear from you. Follow and get involved at Access Tech Live. We'll be right back.